fellow traders, Paul here. So I'm the Good Morning Market Prep for Wednesday, December the 1st, 2021. I hope everybody had a great night last night. It's brought to you by Positive Trends Research. Everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. All right, well, let's check and see where we left over the market yesterday. Well, last month. Wow, what a candle from last time. So a shooting star candle on the monthly chart. Now, we were comparing this to the shooting star candle here before the Corona crash, but keep in mind, guys, we actually took out those highs before flushing on the Corona crash. So I don't know if we're going to be doing the exact same thing here. Maybe we'll call it the Omicron crash or whatever it is, if it does happen. But watch for the potential for it to push above this candle and then a flush down, right? So that could happen. Otherwise, if we break down below last month's lows, we can start to work our way down and possibly test the bottom of this channel. Weekly chart, guys, we had a bearish engulfing week last week. This week we were below. We pushed yesterday below last week's lows, so that is indicative of a follow through of the bearish engulfing candle. However, gapping up this morning, so we'll have to see what type of action we get. If we go to the daily chart, again, we're still over the 50-day moving average, which we haven't tested yet. That is a possibility if we continue to break down below those lows. That this could be tested, and we'll see how that holds. If not, right, well, we got a bump line right here. We got the cloud right here. We got an open gap corresponding with the bump line in the cloud. We got another open gap right here corresponding with essentially, a bottom of the cloud. Then another shoot down right here could hit the 200-day moving average, and we'd see if we bounce off of that. But in the meantime, at the very least, we just had a nice spike in volatility. Jay Powell talking yesterday with Yellen at the Senate Banking Committee, talking about inflation, not necessarily using the word transitory anymore. Well, what are we going to use? Are we going to use persistent? And then they were talking about, well, I didn't really mean transitory. I meant is like, not that prices won't go up, but that it won't affect things, really in a bad way. It's like, okay. So anyway, they are gapping up here this morning despite, inflation worries, Omicron, and all that stuff. But are we surprised? No, the market always does, especially when everybody gets bearish, right? So, but that being said, let's look at the SPY and see how it's behaving here this morning. So again, good volume yesterday, nice breakdown, and we'll see what kind of follow through we get. Now, not to keep a bearish, full bearish sentiment right here, but I do want to point out that it does look like a rising wedge going into this morning. Of course, as long as we hold this geometric line here, we could stay in the bullish camp today. But we'll see how we go today. We're still below that the geometric line above. Same with this one right here, right? So over the overnight highs, right? We could test the scene of the breakdown right here. That could tell, whether this price was legit here or not, right? So if that drop was valid, and a lot of times we see that, right? It comes back to the scene of the breakdown, and then if it gets above it, it's like, no, never mind. There was no need to be short there. But if it comes back and tests it, and if it does it around 10 a.m. when they're testifying again today, talking about inflation and all that stuff, and we start to push down again, it could be a little bit interesting, right? And so, if we go back here to the SPX, guys, sorry if you guys were expecting the wave count on this one. It's tricky, right? So, at this point here, wave 5 could be in. It could be a 1-2-1-2. At this point now, look for a 618 retrace, right? And see how it handles that level. Maybe a gap fill right here into the golden zone. And then, and then it could be a 1-2-1-2-1-2, all right? And this could be the start of a larger wave down. So we just have to kind of see how that goes. Otherwise, you could kind of argue that this was a 3-3. It's a tough one to get a wave count on this one. So you could say that this was ABC 3, ABC 3, and this is still 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5. But honestly, I don't think this wave has really resolved itself. I don't really see a true count on this one. If anything, this looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? But let's see how the price action goes today, and we'll go from there. So let's see, again, like I said, let's look at the S&P futures again. We're below the geometric line here going in today, and of course above the overnight lows. Let's see how we handled the scene of the breakdown from yesterday. MES, again, same thing. Just kind of keep an eye on the lower geo here, and the kind of rising wedge-ish type look to it. So just kind of see how that holds. It's pretty steep, so we get a little bit concerned when we see those too. The Q is basically still below between a major triangle right here, so very, very interesting stuff here as well. IWM, again, above a geometric line here. The XLF has just been up, down, up, down, up, down, but still below that channel low. The VIX, interesting, right? So we're still over 20, and we're pretty much holding on yesterday's lows here so far. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got a little bit of a spike at the open in the market. Maybe we faded this gap here on the VIX, and then it started to work its way up. So that is a possibility, something to keep an eye on here today. Apple, so far getting some follow through. Again, very, very strong option activity yesterday on Apple, driving this thing up, gapping up above all-time highs today. And of course, the market dip by looking extra strong here today as well. We've also got Tesla. So Tesla gapping up here this morning too. Again, with the rest of the market here, see how it holds yesterday's highs. Bitcoin, guys, looking pretty choppy here this morning. Kind of a narrow range. We're basically an inside day, just camping on the cloud right here, right between the ADMA and the 50-day moving average, right? So let's see how that holds. Again, contraction to expansion one way or the other. We are above the downward trend line right now. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to get more in-depth video coverage on the stocks or setups that are on our radar, be sure to join our group or subscribe to the Bubba Report for more morning analysis. The Bubble Report includes S&P 500 review, also a market profile game plan on the S&P futures, sector updates, gappers, orbs, unusual option activity, economic calendar, and we also have Elliott wave counts that are on our radar made by Algo 382. Be sure to click the link at the end of this video to subscribe today.